Hey guys, it's me. Hope everybody's good this week. We are going to continue talking about trees, and I thought I would come outside to read to you today since it was such a nice day. Last week we talked about the characteristics of trees and what trees look like and what the parts of a tree are, like the roots and the branches and the leaves. Today we're going to talk about who lives in trees. So I have a book that's called exactly that, Who Lives in Trees. And this book is written by Trish Holland. Trish is the author, and Trish is also the photographer. The photographer is a person who takes pictures. These pictures are taken from a camera. They're not drawn, so she's a photographer. If I look at this picture on the cover, there's a clue of an insect that might live in a tree. What do you see when you look at the cover? That's right, it's a ladybug. I wonder if ladybugs live in trees. Let's read and find out. Who lives in this tree? Wow, if you look at the picture, it might give you a clue. With wings I can fly to my nest way up high. I am an owl. I live in this tree. Did you hear those rhyming words? Fly, high. Who lives in this tree? What do you see? With strong tail and arms, I can swing all day long. I am a monkey. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? With sticky little toes, I can cling upside down. I am a tree frog. I live in this tree. So far, we've seen an owl and some baby owls in a nest, a monkey, and a tree frog. I wonder what else might live in trees. Let's keep reading. Who lives in this tree? With a long tail and claws, I can climb anytime. I am an anteater. And I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? With skin stretched like wings, I can glide side to side. I am a flying dragon. I live in this tree. Wow, those are two animals that you don't see every day. An anteater, also called an aardvark. This is a flying dragon, and it looks to me like a flying dragon might be a type of lizard. Who lives in this tree? Wow, do you see them all in that hole? With wings I can fly to my big buzzing hive. I am a bee. I live in this tree. Wow, there's another rhyme. Bee, tree. Who lives in this tree? I scrape out a den, but it smells just a bit. I am a skunk. I live in this tree. It almost looks like the bees and the skunk, they live in the trunk part of the tree. Who lives in this tree? With a strong grip and claws, I hold on with my paws. I am a koala. I live in this tree. There was another rhyme. Claws, paws. Who lives in this tree? With my wings I can flit to a banquet on a branch. I am a ladybug. I live in this tree. Okay, so let's think. What have we learned about that lives in trees so far? I remember an owl. I remember bees. I remember a flying dragon. What else do you remember? Who lives in this tree? With sharp, tiny claws, I can run just for fun. I am a squirrel. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? With my wings I can flutter from my comfortable cocoon. I am a butterfly. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? Hooks and claws on my feet help me walk on my web. I am a spider. I live in this tree. Who? Who lives in this tree? Can you see? With humming wings, I dart to the babies in my nest. I am a hummingbird. I live in this tree. Oh, I think you're going to like the next one. Who lives in this tree? With my muscles, I can climb. Then I make a cozy coil. So it coils up like in a circle. I am a tree snake. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? I fly to my nest. My dead tree is the best. I am a woodpecker. I live in this tree. So we've seen a lot of different birds. We've seen an owl, we've seen a hummingbird, and now we've seen a woodpecker. Who lives in this tree? With wings I fly up, then I hang with head down. It's hanging upside down. I am a bat. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? With eggs in my nest, I sit warm in my nook. I am a bluebird. I live in this tree. We were just talking about how there were a lot of different birds in this book. Here's another one, a bluebird. I wonder what this animal is. Let's read the words and see. Who lives in this tree? With claws I dig tunnels. Tree roots are my roof. So remember how the tree roots were under the ground and they helped the tree stand up? This animal digs under and lives under the tree roots. I am a wombat. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? Well, I see a little boy playing in the tree, but I don't know if he lives there. No claws and no wings. Our feet aren't sticky things. We are just kids. We play in this tree. He doesn't live in the tree. He plays in the tree. It looks like he might have a swing that he tied up on one of the branches of the tree. So we talked about a lot of different animals that use trees as their homes. So we want to make sure that we take care of trees, because if we didn't have any trees, where would all of the birds live? Where would the wombat live? Where would the children play? Let's see what's good for trees. What is good for trees? The sun, the sunshine, the soil, that's the dirt, and the rain. You know how Miss Hamilton used to always say that the rain made me sad because we couldn't go out and play, but at the same time, the rain also made me happy because I knew that the grass and the trees, they all need water. Right here, rain is good for the trees. These are the good things. There's also things that are bad for trees. What is bad for trees? Drought. A drought is when there is no rain. So if there was no rain and the ground got all cracked and dry, the trees wouldn't have any water and they might not be able to live. And then all of the animals that we talked about in this book, they wouldn't have a home. Fires. Fires are bad for trees. And some bugs, they say pests and diseases. Some kind of bugs. Sometimes bugs like to eat the trees, and that's not good for trees. So, who needs trees? Well, the animals that we read about in this book, the insects like the ladybugs, and the birds. And you know who else needs trees? You and I do too. I want you to think about all of the animals and the bugs and the birds that we talked about that live in trees, and maybe you can even think about something that was not in the book. If you think about it, let me know. I'd love to hear your ideas.